Welcome to our comprehensive guide to the Campmasters system. In this video, we'll walk you through everything you need to know to make the most of the platform. Today, we'll be covering key topics, including Storefront Availabilities, Storefronts, Inventory Management, and our Tap to Pay iOS and Android apps. Let's get started by discussing Storefront Availabilities and Storefronts, what they are, how they work, and how they connect with each other. Storefront Availabilities, the planning stage. Storefront Availabilities are the first step in organizing storefront events. They act as a precursor to the event itself, meaning they allow councils to plan and schedule storefront events before a unit claims or is assigned to them. To be clear, a storefront availability is not a storefront event, it is simply the setup stage where councils define when and where a storefront event could happen. Once a unit signs up or is assigned to a storefront availability, it becomes a storefront event, a finalized event tied to a specific unit. Think of storefront availabilities as placeholders. They allow councils to organize the who, where, and when before the event is locked in. Key features of storefront availabilities. To start, councils can create a storefront availability by specifying important details like the location where the event will take place, such as a store or a high-traffic area. They can also set the date and time of the availability and include contact information, such as the name, phone number, and email address of the location's point of contact. Once the availability is created, councils have two options for assigning a unit. They can leave the availability open, allowing units to browse and claim a time slot that works best for them. Alternatively, they can directly assign a unit to an availability. This option works well for high-demand locations or when it's important to guarantee access for a specific unit. To save time and maintain consistency, councils can copy details from an existing location. If a location is already set up in the system, this feature automatically pre-fills key information, such as the address and contact details, eliminating the need to re-enter information manually. Councils can also control when a storefront availability becomes visible for unit signups. For example, if an event is scheduled for 2 weeks from now, but units shouldn't sign up until next week, councils can set a specific date when the availability will appear. This ensures units only see events when the council is ready for them to do so. Finally, a notes field is available to provide additional details about the storefront. This can include setup instructions, like where to park or unload items, specific guidelines or policies for the location, or any other information to help units prepare for the event. With these features, councils can streamline the planning process, improve communication, and ensure successful storefront events. Once a unit is signed up, either by claiming an availability or being assigned by the council, the storefront availability transitions into a storefront event. At this point, the event is locked in for the assigned unit, and the placeholder availability becomes an active storefront event tied to that specific unit. This distinction is critical to understanding how the system works. Storefront availabilities are placeholders and planning tools, while storefront events are the finalized and scheduled sales activities tied to a unit. By keeping this difference in mind, councils and admins can reduce confusion and ensure a smooth process when planning and managing storefront events. Now that we covered the entire scope of storefront availabilities, let's see it in action. Let's cover initially how to create the location templates, where council users will be able to copy from existing location for a streamlined workflow. From your dashboard, click on Councils from the main menu, and select your council. Next, click on the storefront locations. Here, you will see previously created templates. To create a new template, click on Add. A pop-up window will appear, and you can fill out the required fields. Click Save when done. Please note, these templates can be applied and used for both storefront availabilities, or directly creating a storefront event. Now, let's create the storefront availability. From your dashboard, click on Storefront Availabilities from the main menu. You will see all the created storefront availabilities for your council. Next, click on Add Storefront Availability. Certain information will automatically be pre-filled for you, such as drive and council. As previously discussed, if the location has already been set up in the system, you can use the Copy from Existing Location drop-down to speed up this process. After inputting all required information, click either Save or Save and Close. If you wish to sign up a unit immediately, it is advised to click Save, as this will keep you on the current page. To sign up a unit, click on Sign Up Unit from the toolbar. This will take you directly to the Storefront setup screen. If you choose to sign up a unit, please note that the availability will turn into a Storefront event. Let's now see how this will look from a unit leader's perspective. Upon a unit leader signing in, they will click on Available Storefronts from their main dashboard. Here you can see the recently created storefront availability that are available for the unit leader to sign their units up for. Upon the unit leader clicking Sign Up, they will be taken to the Storefront Event setup screen. The unit leader will be required to fill out all of the necessary information and click Save to lock in the Storefront Event for their unit. The majority of the setup is already taken care of from the Storefront availability. We will cover the rest of the Storefront Event setup next. Before we proceed, let's quickly review the storefront availability and timeline process from the council's perspective. This visual outlines the key steps, from creating availabilities to preparation for events. First, the council creates the storefront availability or storefront event. This process can be streamlined by taking advantage of the templates as showcased in the video. Second, the council either assigns a unit to the storefront availability, or allow their units to pick and choose from availabilities that were created. Third, once the availability is claimed or assigned, the storefront availability becomes a storefront event. Fourth, the unit prepares for the event itself. Now that we've covered the basics of storefront availabilities, let's dive into storefront events, or simply, storefronts. Storefronts are the all-in-one solution for organizing and managing sales events where scouts go to a physical location, like Walmart, Home Depot, or other high-traffic areas. Some key notes about storefronts. First, storefront availabilities are not required to create a storefront. Unit leaders and council users can create storefronts directly without relying on storefront availabilities. This flexibility ensures that regardless of how you want to use the system, it will adapt to you. The setup process is very similar to storefront availabilities. The individual who is creating the storefront is required to fill out the following information: the location of where the storefront will take place, contact information, the date, and optionally, the user can enter relevant notes. Notes are recommended for streamlining coordination for unit leaders and scouts. Please note, the Camp Master's system integrates with Google Maps, and it is recommended to utilize the autocomplete feature to ensure accurate address information. Once this information is entered and saved, the Camp Master's system will unlock additional features to streamline event management. Managing a storefront event. One of the features that unlocks after saving the storefront are setting up shifts for the scouts. Unit leaders will create time slots or shifts for organized scout schedules by creating specific time slots with a start and end time. Additionally, shift times can overlap, in example, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. and 7:30 a.m. to 9 a.m., allowing unit leaders to accommodate for any situation. Leaders can set a maximum scout count for each shift if needed. The blue person button opens a pop-up window where the unit leader can select scouts from a drop-down list to add them to shifts. Scouts can also log in and sign up for shifts themselves, providing flexibility for both unit leaders and scouts. Next, credit mode will dictate how credits are dispersed out to the scouts that signed up for any shifts. There are 5 options in total, evenly among all participating scouts. This will distribute credits out evenly to all scouts who are signed up for a shift. Evenly among scouts per shift. This mode distributes credits evenly to scouts within individual shifts. Per participation time. This will distribute credits out to scouts based off the amount of time spent at the storefront itself. Evenly across unit. This will distribute out credits to all scouts within the unit, regardless if they participated or not. Finally, manual credit mode. This mode will allow you to choose how you want to distribute out credits to the scouts. Camp Masters allows you to change the credit mode at any time you would like. Lastly, there are two more things to cover on the management side of things. First, the Add Order to Storefront button. This button is for unit leaders to add any additional orders to the storefront once the storefront is complete. It acts as a safety net to ensure scouts will receive the credits they earned during the storefront. Finally, the Storefront QR button. This button will generate a QR code for your customers. The goal of this feature is to streamline the checkout process. Please note, cash is not an accepted payment method when using this button. Only credit card transactions are accepted. Additionally, you can use Apple Pay or Google Pay in conjunction with the QR code checkout process in lieu of using a traditional credit card. Let's now see what Storefront Management looks like from a unit leader's perspective with a live demo. Please note, we will be creating the storefront from scratch. However, this process is the same if you were to create a storefront from a Storefront Availability. When the unit leader logs in, they can navigate to storefronts from the main menu on the left-hand side. This will take them to the storefront landing page, which displays a list of storefronts that either the unit leader has already signed their unit up for, or storefronts available to sign up for. The unit number column clearly identifies which storefronts belong to the unit leaders group. Additionally, the list includes any relevant notes for accessibility to ensure clear communication. To create a new storefront event, the unit leader can click on Add Storefront. This action opens the storefront setup screen, where some information is pre-filled, including council, district, unit, and sale. The unit leader must complete the following required fields: location, contact name, contact phone number, contact email, date of the storefront event. Optionally, they can also add relevant notes. Once all fields are completed, the unit leader can click Save to create the storefront event. After saving, they can proceed to set up shifts and select the desired credit mode for the event. To create shifts for this storefront event, the unit leader can specify the desired shift times. Shift times can overlap, and the unit leader can set a limit on the number of scouts allowed to sign up for each specific shift. After entering the shift details, the unit leader will click Save. From here, the unit leader has several options. Send scout invites. Clicking on this button opens a pop-up window where the unit leader can optionally enter a custom message. Upon clicking OK, an email will be sent to all scouts in their unit, notifying them that they can sign up for this storefront event. By clicking the people icon, a pop-up window will appear. In this window, the unit leader can use a drop-down menu to assign scouts to the selected shift. They can also remove scouts from the shift if needed. Once the unit leader exits the pop-up edit window, the scouts assigned to the shift will be displayed in a list beneath the shift. This list includes the scout's name, email address, and phone number. The unit leader can click on the email address to directly send an email to the scout, or click on the phone number to place a call using the contact information on file. The unit leader can delete shifts by clicking the red minus icon next to the shift. To ensure accuracy, Camp Masters requires the unit leader to click Save after deleting a shift to confirm the action. After setting up shifts, the unit leader can choose a credit mode for dispersing credits among scouts from the storefront event. By default, the credit mode is set to evenly among all participating scouts. For demonstration purposes, we will select Manual to show how credits can be assigned to scouts. Please note, the unit leader must click Save at the top of the page to finalize and lock in the chosen credit mode. It is also advised that the unit leader clicks on the Storefront QR code button and prints out the corresponding QR code at this time. This ensures they are prepared for the storefront event. Let's now cover how scouts will enter orders that are tied to the storefront on the day of the storefront event. When a scout signs in, they will see a new button labeled Storefront Sale. It's essential that scouts use this button to ensure the sale is correctly linked to the storefront event. From there, the checkout process works the same as any other sale in the Camp Masters system. The scout will add the products the customer wants to purchase and proceed to checkout. They can optionally enter the customer's name and email address. Finally, they'll select the payment type, either credit card or cash/other. Once completed, the order will be successfully processed and tied directly to the storefront. This ensures accurate tracking and reporting for storefront events. Let's now explore what happens after the storefront event has concluded. The unit leader can review all orders and items sold by navigating to the corresponding tab in the storefront dashboard. When clicking on the Orders tab, the page will display all orders associated with the storefront event. The information includes the order number, the order date and time, the scout who the order was placed under, the customer's name, and the cash and card total. The unit leader can click on any individual order to view its full details. Additionally, the unit leader has the ability to export this list to either a PDF or a Microsoft Excel file. Moving on to the Item Summary tab. The Item Summary tab provides an overview of all products sold at the storefront event. This tab is a helpful tool for tracking the total quantities of each item sold. Like the Orders tab, the unit leader can export this list to either a PDF file or a Microsoft Excel file. Finally, the Credits tab. The Credits tab is where the unit leader manages credit disbursements to scouts. Upon opening this tab, key information is displayed at the top of the page. Total to credit, which is the total amount available to be disbursed from earned credits from the storefront event. Total credited, which is the amount that has already been disbursed out to scouts. Remaining to credit, which is the amount left to be disbursed. There are two ways for the unit leader to disburse credits to scouts. The first option is to use the Distribute to Selected button. To do this, the unit leader selects the scouts from the list below who should receive the credits, then clicks the button. This distributes all available credits evenly from the total to credit field. Alternatively, the unit leader can manually enter credit amounts in the credits column for each scout. After whichever method the unit leader would like to leverage to disperse the credits, they will be required to click Save to lock in the credit disbursements to their scouts. And that's it. You now have a complete overview of how to create and manage a storefront event. If you have any further questions, feel free to contact Camp Masters customer support. Now moving on to Unit Inventory. Unit Inventory provides unit leaders with a top-down view of all products their unit has on hand. This includes how many products are assigned to scouts and how many are allocated to storefronts. This feature enables unit leaders to quickly assess their unit's inventory levels and manage products effectively. Additionally, Unit Inventory allows unit leaders to move products between their unit, scouts, and storefront events. These functionalities will be showcased in the live demo. Please note, Unit Inventory does not support transferring products to another unit. For guidance on this, refer to our Unit Inventory Transfers video. Let's move on to the live demo and see what this looks like from the unit leader's perspective. After signing in, the unit leader will navigate to Unit Inventory from the main menu. Once the page loads, the unit leader should confirm that the correct unit is selected from the drop-down menu, especially if they manage multiple units. Below the drop-down selectors, they will see a detailed overview of their unit, its location, and any applicable storefronts with assigned inventory. This section includes the product name, the current product inventory count for the unit, the scouts, and the storefronts. For the unit leader to manage their unit's inventory, they will click on the Manage Inventory button. A pop-up window will appear with the following fields. The From field. This field acts as the source of the inventory, whether that be a scout, storefront, or the unit itself. Next, the To field. This field acts as the destination of where the product will be transferred to. Once the unit leader has made a selection in both fields, they will be able to enter the quantities of each product to be transferred. Finally, they will click Save. If you have any questions, please contact Camp Masters customer support. The final topic in this presentation is the Camp Masters Tap to Pay app, available for both iOS and Android devices. This app simplifies credit card transactions during storefront events by utilizing tap-to-pay functionality. There are a few prerequisites that should be known before using this app. For iOS users, you must have an iPhone with NFC capabilities and be running iOS version 15.4 or later. Almost all iPhones have this functionality, and almost all are running the required iOS version. The chart on screen will give you an overview of what models are compatible. If you are unsure what version of iOS you are on, Camp Masters recommends to go to your device settings, General, About, and view what version of iOS you are on. Additionally, in order to use this app, you must be using Safari as your web browser on your iPhone. Chrome, Firefox, Opera, Brave, and other browsers are not compatible. For Android users, you must be running Android version 9 or above. Additionally, the Android device must support NFC. The majority of Android devices support this feature. On screen, we have a chart of some Android devices that are compatible. If you are unsure whether or not your Android device supports this, Camp Masters recommends referring to the manufacturer's website to determine device compatibility with NFC technology. Additionally, all Android users must use the Chrome web browser app for the app to launch and work correctly. Other web browsers like mentioned in the iOS list are not compatible. Before using the app, you must download it from the App Store on iOS or the Play Store on Android. Pictured on screen are images of the app on both app stores. If you have difficulties finding the app within either app store, Camp Masters recommends signing into the system on your phone. There will be a button on your main dashboard to directly take you to the app to download for both iOS and Android devices. It is also important to note that in order to use this app, you must be logged into the Camp Masters system within the web browser on your phone. The option to launch the app as a payment method will not appear for scouts or unit leaders that are not signed in. Keep this in mind when making a sale. Let's move on to the live demo. Introducing the all-new Camp Masters Tap to Pay app, now available for iOS devices. This app is designed to streamline every credit card transaction, making it easier than ever to accept payments on the go. Let's dive in and see how this powerful tool can help you during the busy season. Getting started is simple. Head over to the App Store, search for Camp Masters Tap to Pay, and click Download. Once installed, taking orders is just as easy as before. After you've added items to your cart, select Credit Card as the payment option, and then choose Tap to Pay. This will prompt you to open the Tap to Pay app. If this is the first time you are launching the app, you will be required to click Next twice at the top of the screen, click in the checkbox to the left of Accept Terms and Conditions, and finally click Next again. Once done, the app will request to use your current location. Note, allowing the app to use your current location is required to use the app. Once done, you'll see the total transaction amount displayed. To complete the transaction, you can use any credit card with Tap to Pay functionality or any mobile device with Tap to Pay built in. Just make sure your card is set up in the appropriate digital wallet, like Apple Wallet for iOS devices or Google Wallet for Android. If the payment method fails for any reason, you have the opportunity to try again, or click the back button to go back to the cart page to choose another payment method. You'll hear an audible sound confirming the payment has been captured, and then you'll be redirected back to the cart. Please note, there might be a brief 1 to 3 second delay before the summary screen appears. And that's it. You've successfully processed a payment using the Camp Masters Tap to Pay app for iOS devices. Android support is coming soon, stay tuned. If you are having issues with the Tap to Pay app, please confirm and check the following. Make sure the app is installed. Review the beginning of the video for demonstrating on how to install the app from the App Store. The Tap to Pay feature will not work until the app is installed. Verify that you have accepted the terms and conditions. You will not be able to take any payments until this is done. Go back in the video and watch how to accept the terms and conditions. Make sure that you have enabled location services for the app. Location services are not optional and are required for the app to work. If you miss this step during the initial setup, you can manually turn on location services for the app by going to Settings, typing in location. Verify that the Location Services setting is enabled at the top of the screen. Next, scroll down and select the Campmasters Tap to Pay app. Once on Location Settings for the app, verify you have enabled the setting while using the app. Make sure Precise Location is enabled as well. Additionally, Safari is the only compatible browser for launching and using the Campmaster Tap to Pay app. If you have any other issues with the app, you can reach out to Campmaster's customer service for more assistance. This concludes our presentation on some of the most utilized features within the Campmaster's system. If you have any questions, please reach out to Campmaster's customer support.